Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. We're here back with another London session live stream. And let's see what we got here. So this is the GJ chart on the 15 minutes. We see there is the current hour candle here that's open up with no wick. Could we get a push down to maybe set this range right here? Let's highlight that. So something like this. So what is it? 30, 35, 40 pips right here. Or is it settling in this range right here, right? Which is a smaller consolidation zone. So it was here. Now, this is the ray here that's drawn out is the daily EMA, as you can see. Right here, the daily EMA. So we can see on the higher time frame that price has rejected the daily EMA, at least partially. So let's take a look if this will push down further, and then maybe we can set a potential range here. So if this continues to push down, we could, let me remove that. So we could set something up on this end like this. But we need a second touch at the bottom here. So if price does come down, we need it to kind of hit over here. But we do have this, small range right here. But if we can target, GJ coming down here, then that would give us a really nice push, really nice setup here for the push upwards here to the upside. So that's what we're gonna wait on for now. There is there's no wick on the current candle, so this current candle can kind of jump right back into this consolidation zone with the 15-minute EMA that the price has rejected and reversed here. But let's see if we can get the push down here. So I'm gonna draw something right here. Can we get price to come down here? And that would make it a much more clear setup for us to target the buys once it comes down here, right? Now, if that does not occur, as you can see that the ray right here is the daily EMA with no wick right here on the current candle. This is the New Hour candle here. If this does come back up here, we do have a bearish push right now. So 2 5-minute candles, consecutive 5-minute candles, close with no wick. So this could definitely come down and push down here. But we do have a non-wick candle here as well, which is the opening of the hour. So that's something to consider. But if it does come back in here on the 15 minutes, then this would be the range that we're looking at, right? Which was previously, right before this hour started, which is again a very small 9-10 pip range. So if we can get GJ to come down here, how many more pips is that? So not, it's not too difficult to get. It's another 21, 22 pips to push. Then this setup right here to the way up, right? So on the way down, we remove this. If we get this pushed down, and then we could set some buy stops depending on if price moves past this area, and then we can go ahead and do the buys here. This is a, I believe, 30 pip range. 30, yeah, actually almost 40 pips. But you can see price rejected, or is rejecting, and potentially will move right back into this area. But that is yet to be seen. Yes, so this is the current setup. Every time when we do the live streams, we're looking at setups that can be completed and entered within that given session, right? So that's the purpose of my live streams, at least. We're not looking for, swing setups, higher time frame setups, although I may mention it from time to time. But we're looking for small, 20 to 30 pip even 40 pips at times. We've even seen 50 and 60 pips. But looking at the the medium to lower level ranges, which can be completed and safely with lower risk. So that's our goal here. Yes, and welcome all. We're trying to, again, trying to create a following here as well for the live streams. We've been having a lot of success, as for some of you who have been following on the social platforms and who have been watching either live or even gone back and watched some of the streams. And that's normally because not only is the strategy somewhat safety proof, but we make sure that we minimize our risk, right? So even for the live stream setups, I'm only going to be looking for low, medium to low risk setups. And the way we execute that is using limit orders, right? So buy stops or sell stops. And even the executions of those buy stops or sell stops are done in such a fashion where we keep it, very safe. So if this setup right now on GJ does end up coming down, right, we're going to be looking for price to kind of float around here and then set some buy stops for the way up, right? But again, if that does not happen, then we're going to look at maybe doing some sells once it comes up here. We do have some EMA taps as well here, right? But this setup can look pretty clean. I mean, it does come in line with yesterday's setup. So if you guys did attend yesterday, or if you guys want to go watch yesterday's stream, we caught this 2 TP setup here on GJ, which was a very clean setup. And then, it went right back up. And I also mentioned in the stream yesterday that once GJ does come down here, right, to the bottom end of this larger range. So we had a smaller range and then we had a larger range here. So this was a range within a range trade. And then the larger range we held on for the second TP. And then I mentioned during the live stream yesterday that if and when price comes down here, floats down here, you can go ahead and the buys because they look pretty clean as there were EMA taps up above here, right? Let me go on the 5-minute and show you guys. Yeah, so there was EMA taps here and it was certain to hit that at least. And then it just went all the way above from there. But let's go right back to the current setup. So you can see that it's very in line with this range of GJ, which we had yesterday. So let's see if we get that again today. And that's kind of what we're going to be looking for. Now, if we have 2 biases here, right? Normally when you trade the range, and again, if it's medium to small range, you're going to be looking for reversals pretty soon, sooner than later, right? Larger ranges, of course, is going to take more time. But typically, when you look for smaller ranges, you can have multiple biases, right? And that's a healthy balance for a trader psychologically, because you can understand the price can move both ways and there can be reasons why they move both ways. Now, the choice that you have to make with appropriate analysis is that why would it move in that direction? And if it does come back, what was the purpose behind that? And we can re-enter. For example, what I'm saying here is that now GJ can come down here for our second touch. So 1, 1, 2, and then 2. And then the second to third touch has a very, very high accuracy. Again, if GJ or the pair is moving in line. And now what happens is, let's say GJ doesn't come down here. Instead, it goes back up here to the top end of the range. Maybe because there's a confluence here. There could be an EMA tap here. The 50-minute EMA is right there. The 30-minute EMA is here. So if it reaches up here, what I'll be looking for then is potentially some sells that push GJ down, right? So again, it doesn't mean that the plan is any different. It just means that there may have been a fake out or a small reversal within the range, potentially to tap an EMA or, some light fundamental event. However, even then, I get a entry for the sells, which I can get the move down. And on top of that, once the second touch, appears here, which is kind of the play that we had yesterday, I can see if price settles down here for me to go for the buys. So if price does not follow, directly our plan, like from where it is right now to drop down here, we could still wait for the price to reach up here, maybe a potential larger time frame EMA, and then do the sells and then see if price flows down here for potential buys. So we get both opportunities. That's exactly what occurred yesterday, right? So we were looking for the sells or the buys once price comes down here. It didn't come down. It went straight back up, and then the price rode down. Before it, it riding down, we went ahead and got the sells. We got the sells, and then we had an opportunity to get the buys. But again, I'm not looking to enter too many setups in a given session. But the idea here is that the strategy is pretty solid, and it can repeat, multiple times, and even, you can catch one or two moves on both ends, from the top end to the bottom end and the bottom end to the top end, even in a given session, right? So it's pretty solid. 4 out of the 5 days, you'll be able to get a setup. And now look, GJ floated back up into that range, but look what happened here. It's still pushing down now, right? So we are about 42 minutes away from London opening. So we're anticipating that this comes down here before London opening, and we can go ahead and enter the buys. But we're going to allow the price to float down here to see what really occurs, before we go ahead and buys. Let's say, for example, price is coming down here. London opening volume can kick in, and we're a few minutes away from London opening, which has happened a few times during the stream. And so you want to make sure that you don't enter the buy stops or buys at instant execution too quickly. And you have to keep in mind of the time of new candle openings, especially larger time frame candle openings. So you have to keep a lot of these things in mind, right? It's just like driving. When you're driving, you got to keep, left, right, side view mirrors, the rear view mirror, shoulder check. So you got to keep in line with everything. Once you do this, with more experience and more time on the charts, you're going to get better and better at it, right? And once you get to that level, it doesn't seem any less than, first nature. So so GJ now is caught up in this small range right here. So it was in this range, which was pretty clean, but again, it was a very small range right here. Look at this, very, very in line here. Clean range here. We had another clean range right here. So this is just amazing to see, right? And this is also proof that even within a given day, in a given time frame, the move, exact ranges will occur more often than not. And that's why we can get setups almost every single day. Look at this clean setup right there, and continue the move, up and down to the range. We got another range right here, and now we're looking at this range right here. So there's so many different setups. Of course, now they're not all tradable, and the reason is because some of them are too small in pip size, right? Whenever you trade, you got to keep in mind spread, and price typically needs some breathing room, right? So if the range is too small, and we're not going to have enough breathing room for, let's say, GJ to maybe do a fake out of 5 or 6 pips, let's say, for example, and those 5 or 6 pips could stop you out, right? So we don't want to trade small ranges because it doesn't give us enough breathing room, and simply it's on the higher end of risky, because we can be stopped out from a small fake out of, let's say, 7, 8 pips even in a given minute of a higher time frame candle opening. Yeah, so excellent question. What do I consider too small for a range with GJ and USD CAD? So yes, each pair is slightly different because of how they move on a given session. Now, the breakdowns I've given in my course, but typically what I can mention is that for GJ, I'm looking at somewhere between 15 and up to 25 to 30 pips. That's what I would consider small for GJ. For USD CAD, I can consider 10, to 15 to even 20 pips for a small range. So, but I have the full breakdown of, small to medium to large ranges in the course. I also have a breakdown of when to look for, adjusting and managing your trade, all the whilst seeing how large the range is. So whether you hold out to TP1, TP2, or TP3, it depends on how large the size of the range is as well, right, in terms of pips. So all those calculations are given in a document in the course. But again, I do active trade management during the stream as well. So if you want to learn that way as well, that's perfectly fine. And now you can see, as anticipated, GJ is moving in line with what we want GJ, or how we want GJ to move, right? Again, it won't always be perfect, but because of, just experience over time, of, me watching GJ, that's what I have in line, right? Even this range that I've drawn out here could be potentially wrong, but I anticipate this. Not even from previous, setups here. Like you can see now, this range was up here, but it can even, gone down here. On the lower time frames, we can have this setup here. So I wouldn't consider this tradable unless GJ did come up here and there were some confluences which the EMA taps were in line with the top end of the range or very close by. So that's why the sells would be more valid here. Now if GJ comes back up here, and let's say range is here, and with London opening pushes back up here, then I'll be looking for sells, right? But it is, in a small range over here, looking for GJ to push down here. So once it comes down here, we can look for either instant execution, depending on, where the price is at, in terms of the exact time, and if there's a candle opening coming or not. Otherwise, we can see price pushing down past here, for us to allow us some breathing room to set our buy stops here, and then seeing the move back up here, right? So that's the game plan. We have both ends covered here in terms of, if price moves up here, what do we do? And if price comes down here, what do we do and how we react, right? And whilst the trade, let's say price, taps it to becoming active, whether it's a sell stop or a buy stop or a sell or buy, if price is active at that point, you have to now start reacting in terms of, very active trade management, adjusting stops, adjusting TPs. Let's say, for example, if you want to add letting runners run, closing out 50%, all done in real time. So you can see on the 5 minute, it's still ranging here, right? There is a 5 minute EMA tap. Also, price did come back and fill this non-candle wick, which was the opening of the hour as well. So, price can definitely push down here. It also filled up these non-wick candles here. We don't have any non-wick candles here, but we do have, some certainty that price can pour down all the way to the bottom end over here. So let's see how many pips this is. About 20 pips. Can definitely come down, make a clean push here. But again, you have to realize that, okay, if you kind of are confident, and this is just a question that, some of the viewers have asked over, the past 2 weeks, that if you're confident that price is going to come down here, why not just trade and sell here? Well, that's, where the other bias comes in, where price is ranging here, and through a larger candle opening can fake out and come right back up here, because there are some EMA taps and confluences here, can fake out and then come down. So we want to avoid that, right? So that's why it's not always safe to take the trade in the middle of the range and, before our target area. We need to keep our target zones in mind, not only the profit targets, but also our, areas of interest, let's say, where we plan on taking an entry. So we have to be mindful of all these things. So you can see now it seems like it could break out of this range, but it can come right back down and float and tap this 5-minute EMA here. But let's see. Could it pour down or could it not? We're going to have to wait and see. We're about 3 minutes away from the half-hour candle closure. But you can see, yes, it can definitely pour down here. Even on the hour, it can come down. So this could be a very clean setup. We do have a larger time frame EMA as well. So this could be a very clean setup and more than one TP. This could be a 2 TP target here. Yep. So I recommend you guys to stay very active now. And yes, GJ is pouring down now. So be very active here if you are planning on taking a setup, because we do have GJ approaching our area of interest here. So most of the time I do take sell stops or buy stops, right? Again, about between 70 and 80% of the time. But there is an odd 20-25% where I will take, market execution orders, right? So instant execution. Now this, depending on where the candle, so once, let's say price comes down here, at that point, I'm going to decide whether I take market execution or I'll wait, right? If it's a larger time frame candle, closing and then a new one opening, I have to consider my options here. Should I wait it out, right? So let's say the price is right here and the hour candle is closing. Now, do I go ahead and just, do the instant execution and buy, or I wait for the hour opening? It may come up here, then come down, and then I set my buy stops. And once price pours down up here, it can continue to move up, right? So these are, not impulsive, I would say, but these are critical decisions that you have to make in real time, and you have to manage accordingly. Right? I even say all the time, even if we're trading the same pair, the same setup, the same range, our entries and our where we cut, short our trade can always be different. So if we have 100 people trading the same range, even then our entry points and our entry timing and where we cut our stops and adjust our stops, all those things can all be different. Right? And that's the decision that you have to make. But that's the challenge, though. As an individual trader, as an individual, you have to learn how to trade and manage the trade on your own, right? No one is going to do that for you. Of course, I'm going to tell you guys where I make the stops and so forth. But that doesn't make me always right. But and that's not to say the strategy is not very safe proof. It is, right? I've gone in too many setups out of this. It's all, recorded history, whether it's my Telegram groups you guys can see, or through the YouTube videos, or through the payout videos. All of that has come from this strategy. So the system can always work. As an individual, you have to manage the trade accordingly, right? And your risk, of course. But part of managing your trade is managing your risk and taking profits and adjusting your stops and so forth. So all of that. And even taking the correct entry points, right? So I mentioned to you guys what one should do when there's a higher candle closure coming here, amongst other confluences and other factors that you have to consider, whether you take a market execution order or a buy stop or sell stop. Again, you can take limit orders as well, but you have to be careful, right? Buy limit or sell limit. But you have to be careful with that. I personally don't use those. And that's where, for example, if price pours down here, it taps, your buy limit, and then you intend for the price to go up. But again, it's a little higher risky. All right, so a little higher risk. I allow the price to pour below our entry point. Right? And even let's say, for example, we have our range right here, let's say, right? And price comes down here and you're waiting for a buy stop where you have some breathing room, so you want price to come down here, but it doesn't and it just goes back up, you've missed the whole setup. And you're going to miss a lot of those setups if that's the case, right? But so what you can do is, instead of, the price may come down here because it's a previous area that, price has reached. What you do instead is, we're going to look for buys here. So what you do instead is, instead of doing a market execution order, you can set your buy stops up here, so slightly above the range. It doesn't mean that you need to trade the whole range from down here. Instead, what you do is you can have your entries over here for more safety. So let the price ride down here, and then set your buy stops up here. Right, and it's about 6-7 pips. So even with spread, you have some breathing room before price reaches here. And if it doesn't, and it just pours down, then you're not in that trade. Right, so. And still, you can still capture 35 pips out of the 40 or 42 pips. So not bad at all, right? So there's different measures that you can take to safeguard and lower your risk. And again, I hope you guys are learning, through these streams. There's a lot of psychology in play, a lot of the mental versus the analytical versus the active trade management in real time. And now you guys can see now. See, if we did take the sells here, let's say, and we thought that GJ is going to pour it down, you could see that we would have been in a drawdown. And we don't want to be in an unnecessary drawdown, right? Even if it's 7 pips, we don't want to be in a unnecessary drawdown, because psychologically that's not going to be good. Because then what's going to happen is, let's say each time that you enter in between a range and you think it's going to drop down here, even though it may, you don't always want to be in drawdown in each setup, right? This strategy allows you to be in profit right from when the trade gets activated, right? That's the benefit of this setup, right? Of this system, that a lot of these setups can be sniper entries with minimum drawdown, right? And if someone doesn't really believe that, you guys can watch the previous streams. Sometimes we get tapped and it just goes right to our profit target. And again, some of these range within range setups are also pretty valid as well. Again, as long as it's enough of a good size for even a smaller end of the range for the pair. But you can see one setup here, potentially one setup here. And I'm not talking about this specific range, but even within a larger range, you'll have smaller ranges within it, which are tradable. At the same time, you could be trading the larger range. So let's say, for example, I was trading from here. At this point right here, I was trading this sell down here on the shorter time frame. But in the larger time frame, I'm also doing the sell, to bring it down here. But I have two different positions open. But this is not, what I want to promote right now and encourage, because I did start the live streams. First, it was private live streams on Zoom, and then I brought it onto YouTube for the general public. But I, initially brought it because I wanted, people to learn through my course, learn the system, learn the strategy, and then from there, I wanted, proper mentorship, and to show people that this strategy works. This is, not only good advice, but you guys can seek how we actually do the trade management aspect, how we manage our risk, how we float our stops and our profit targets accordingly. So all of that, that's why I started these streams initially. But I felt that many more people can benefit, and that's why I put it up on YouTube. But I will be giving more of exclusive. Well, I will be starting an exclusive group for the course members and anybody who wants more, let's say, I would like to say signals, but I might send entries in that, private exclusive group, but also some chart setups on, off stream hours. So let's say I still, do the London session live streams on YouTube, but as far as, let's say the New York session, we sometimes we may not get a setup during the London opening or London session. So sometimes it may be right after London opening, right after the London session, pre-New York session, New York session. So all those setups, if I do get something valid, even on larger time frames, I will be sending that into the exclusive group, right? So you guys can benefit from that as well. So there's a lot of different benefits that those members will get, but that's something that I have in works. Most likely be launch. I will launch it in October, but it's still in. The plans are in the process right now. All right, so now you can see GJ kind of broke out of this range. And on the 15 minutes, there is no wick, right? There's no wick on this. So now this could push up here. We have about 7 minutes left till the next opening, right? Next 15-minute candle opening. But I could see that price may come up and tap the 30-minute EMA, right? So there's no wick on the current candle. So now, the other plan that we had, if price comes back up, what can we do? Well, that's, what's happening in real time. And again, this is another reason why for anybody who would sell down here, let's say they were selling at this point in the middle of the range, look what would happen here, right? So this is another reason why you should not do that, and practice good psychology and practice the correct plan. All right, so now, yes, so we can see that price may tap this 50-minute EMA, and if it continues past it, it can even go up to the EMA tap right here for the 30-minute candle, or for the 30-minute EMA right here. So if it reaches here, I'm not particularly confident about the 50-minute EMA, but let's see how many pips this current candle is with no wick. It's 13. Wow, it's a 13 pip candles. That's a lot. So if it it's a new 5-minute candle opening right here. So if price pushes up here past this, to the top end of the range, I'm going to be looking for some sells. Whether I do instant execution or not, that depends on what exact time in terms of whether it's closer to the hour or the 50-minute candle opening. Depending on that, I will decide whether I do instant execution or settle for price to move against our area of interest and then put some sell stops in this case. So there's a 50-minute EMA right here. Can still tap that. We have about 5 minutes left to the 50-minute candle closure. Again, still working according to what we had in mind. Whether price push down here or price comes up here, ideally up here where the 30-minute EMA is, and then we can set some sell stops for the price to ride down, right? And that would probably enter us into London opening. And with some correct volume, we can move down. Now let me quickly take a look at some of the fundamental events today. So there was 2 a.m. GEP, but nothing big. Chef. So there's 3:30. The monetary policy, okay, 4 a.m. And then 7 a.m. is GP, but that's 1 hour before New York opening. But I don't plan on staying on the stream that long anyhow. But look out for this just in case. So there is some policy, monetary policy for both Chef and GP, right? Okay. Here's a look at USD CAD. So there is this range. Let me just take a look. Okay, so yeah, it's still settling in. Nothing too concrete. Trying to see if this would correlate. So we got 17 pips. We do have an EMA tap below as well. But again, this is just to see if, you know, USD CAD settles here for price to come down here. There's a non-wick candle up here, down here as well. And there's the EMA tap below. I mean, on the 5 minutes, probably closer. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we do have two setups here. GJ, is it coming back down? Or is it going to push up? We're going to have to wait and see. There's 2 minutes left to the 50-minute candle opening, so let's wait and see what happens. All right, here is the candle opening, so it's continuing the push. And USD CAD. Again, I'm not looking at USD CAD as a potential setup yet because it does look like a semi-clean range, but it just seems like it's gonna slip here, just like yesterday on USD CAD. So I'm gonna focus on GJ and see if we can get that 30-minute tap up here, then the cells can look clean. We're going to have to be patient with this one. Right, so EMA tap is right above the price here, or the the wick of where the current price is of the current candle. It's about 4 pips above. Can certainly come and tap this. It has tapped it, across, all the 15-minute candles that were near the EMA tap, or the EMA, sorry, on the 50 minutes. Alrighty, okay, let's get that push. All right, here it comes. Okay, still waiting for GJ to push up past the EMA on the 15 minutes. Tap that and continue. Potentially another 10 minutes or so, 10 pips or so. Let's see. All right, here we may see the tap here. Just gonna remove this so it's out of the way. Here we have the daily EMA, and again the current current candle on GJ has no wick, right? So that gives us a little bit more confidence that it can come down once it taps the EMA. But the 30-minute EMA is so close to where the price is that it could definitely push up here. We're 13 minutes away. 13 minutes away from London opening. So that's another volume kicker that we have to consider now. So yep, it just tapped, or nearly about to tap, the 15-minute EMA. Could definitely come up here. Let's see where the 30-minute is. Yeah. Again, from time to time, you can always adjust the top end or bottom end of the range. So that'll be in line with, kind of this area right here. If we put it back here, that wouldn't be too bad. So if it does come up here on the 30 minutes, right, the 30-minute EMA, if it does tap, I'm going to slightly adjust the top end of the range to make it here. But for now, let's keep it back where it was. And the other reason I was mentioning about my, exclusive group that I will be launching, most likely it will be, a Discord group. There will be general, and so if you're a course member or if you have bought, at least 1 month of subscription for the exclusive group, you'll be part of the general group, and then the exclusive group, within, that'll be locked for all the members that are have that membership, per month. For those members, now the other reason why I do want to start that is because there's a 8 to 10 second delay on YouTube, right? From YouTube to what you guys hear, there's about 8 to 10 seconds, and you guys can probably see that there is a 8 to 10 second delay. So what I will be doing with the exclusive group is they'll be joining through the Zoom. So they'll get the real time entries during the London session streams. So whenever I do the London session streams, you guys will have access to Zoom, and you'll get the real time entry, right? So as you guys know, with between 8 to 10 seconds, sometimes if you miss that entry, price can move, right? Especially in the higher volume sessions like London and New York. So it's key that we don't miss even the second or a few seconds in that nature. So price just tapped the 50-minute EMA. Now again, price can come down, but again, I'm not in no hurry to go ahead and do the sells, because again, price can still come up here. When it exceeds the top end of the range, at that point I can take action and look for sells. But right now I don't have the confidence, and that's through experience, to go ahead and set the sells. And just being patient is going to be good here. And again, you can also see that, and I continue to repeat this because some people, some viewers, some of you guys have done this, where let's say if we were, confident in this pushing down, sell here, and look where the price goes, right? So that's why I always mention two things that can be possible through confluences that we see. We saw the EMA tapped above, so we saw GJ was in a potential range. So we did see that, and from that we concluded that GJ has still some room to come up here, and if it does, we can go ahead and do the sells. And that's exactly what happened with GJ yesterday, and that's exactly how we set it up, and we won, all the way to 2 profit targets. So for me, this is just very enjoyable. I am a full-time day trader, and because I see the same patterns on GJ on the 2 pairs USD CAD as well. Now you can see there's no wick on the current candle, right? So USD CAD can come down here once GJ settles up here, and then reversal. USD CAD buys and GJ sells, right? But again, I'm going to stick to one pair for now because I'm not confident in USD CAD yet. But GJ has passed the EMA for 15 minutes. Now the 30-minute is coming. So now I'm going to get my text ready just in case we get some sell. So again, this is just we're looking for. Once I turn the text into blue, that's when I'm actually going to go ahead and set the sell stops. So it'll be GJ sell stops at, again, this is just a target zone that we're looking for. So it's pushing. We're about, what, 5 pips away. So should we do 800? I think 800 is fine. Or 825. Okay, let's do 825. 182. 825. Again, this is just looking for, we're not setting the stops yet. This is just looking for right now. Let me get the, those ready too. So it's going to be most likely 20 pips. Since we have about 40 pip range, so we're going to keep it at 20 pips for a single TP. So 182, 825 with the 20 pip TP. So you can see how I'm getting everything active and ready before price reaches. Once, and it'll be a 2 TP target. So I'll drag this down once we're in entry, or once the price hits taps our entry. So USD CAD is coming down. So again, this could be a buy as well. But again, I'm going to most likely stick to one setup at a time for the live streams, but definitely for the exclusive group, I will be considering, giving both options out as well. But we're going to stick to one setup for the live streams. All right, so we're not in this setup yet. This is an idea. Once it is something I enter, I will turn this into blue, right? So I'll change the font color to blue. But right now, it's not active. We're looking for, the price to reach up here, right here, and then we're going to go ahead and activate this. Now we're about 5 minutes away from London opening, so that's also something to consider too now, to be safe, right? So now if price still settles here and continues to reject here, and it comes down, then that's no longer, I'm not looking for sell stops anymore, right? If this current price where it's at right now goes all the way down, then I'm not looking for sell stops anymore. I'm gonna look for buy stops once price reaches here. So these are the few things to consider. Again, we're gonna keep it very, very safe, right? Simple strategy. Does take some experience to understand where to log the ranges. Of course, with my experience and my observation of the markets with the pairs that I trade, for me it's a little bit easier. But with time and experience and these streams, you guys will learn a lot of things faster, and at that point it'll make everything more simplified. Okay, big push down with no wick. So USD CAD also is something that I may set up for this stream as well. So USD CAD buys at, but again, they're not active yet. Both setups are not active. So I'm going to wait for London opening now. Since there's only 3 minutes left, I won't be entering GJ or USD CAD prior to London opening, right? So that's for sure. 134.860. So no setups yet. These are just areas of interest. Once it crosses these areas of interest, at that point, I'll look to enter. Right, but we have about 2 minutes left to London opening, so we're going to wait for London opening and then see what happens. But two potentially possible entries for both pairs. Right, so this could be a fast move. Now we're about 1 minute and a half left away from London opening. Even the current 5-minute candle has no wick. Even this candle had no wick as well. So price can come down, dip here, dip below, and then we have our potential entry here. And this would be, we can do it 13 pips for 13. Yeah. So everything is set. We just haven't entered the buy stops, right? But it's always good to keep a check of the chart, and on the other hand, MT5, MT4, whatever you use. Of course, if you use MT5, you can see that it's much easier and more efficient for you to trade, especially scalp. All right. So we're just waiting for London opening now to see if GJ here will push down with London opening volume or tap this EMA so we could set our sell stops for GJ. So that's, both ways. It doesn't matter whether it goes this way or this way. We're going to have a potential entry either way. We just have to be patient. If it goes all the way down, we're going to have to be a little bit more patient because there's more pips to cover. And for USD CAD, if it pushes down, how many pips is it away from the 50-minute EMAs from the price? About 13, 14 pips right now. So let's see. All right, here GJ comes. So where did it, stop here? So it just closed underneath the 15-minute EMA, but it can certainly, with London volume, can push above and tap the 30 minutes, or it can continue down, right? So both options, I don't mind. Of course, now if it does push all the way down, we're going to have to wait for price to reach this area, right? Again, I'm not certain to, take the entry right away from London opening because, again, it could fake us out. Price could come down and then push up and then come down. Or with London volume, just can straight push down. So let's see. Let's see USD CAD. Still has room to come down. So I will consider USD CAD as well. And again, sometimes, it may not be the best thing, to continue to wait and wait and wait, but these are the charts. If you're patient, they will pay you, right? If you're not patient and you become impatient, then trading may not be for you, because although you may get that entry and you may get some pips, in profit, it can come right back and, take away all those profits into drawdown and potentially your stops and so forth, right? You can see now GJ did come down. It seemed like this current candle could push all the way down, which it still can, but it may come back up, tap the EMA above, and then come down, right? Let's see the 1 hour. So 1 hour is not far off either, right? So we have some room where GJ can push up. And we don't want to be trapped in the middle of the range. See, now USD CAD is coming down. Okay, so let USD CAD ride down. So again, these will be buy stops, right? So I was thinking of doing instant execution with USD CAD, but because we have the EMA, it can come down. We're going to allow USD CAD to push down below this bottom end of the range. If it wants to come down to tap here, that's perfectly fine. And then we're going to go ahead and set some buy stops, right? At our intended area. GJ now, on the other hand, we need GJ to push up to get to the 30-minute EMA, and then we can go ahead and do the sells. So as far as I'm concerned, we have two potential setups, for both pairs. And it's just a matter of time before we have to enter these. All right, so USD CAD is coming down to the bottom end of the range. Can we get a more of a push here? So the spread is lower normally on USD CAD. So that's a good thing. All right, here it comes, pushes down. Now I need a little bit of breathing room to set the buy stops. I don't want to be, tapped into the buys right away, right? So you can see the bearish momentum. Could be from just the London opening, but let the candle close on the 5 minutes. So it did come and fill up this non-wick candle and this non-wick candle. Actually, no, that was already filled from this one, but this one it filled up. Now there's 1 minute left on the 5 minute candle, right? So if I enter buys here, let's say, yes, it could push up, but there's another opportunity for USD CAD to push down, continue the bearish momentum, at least for the opening of London. And then we go ahead and set sell stops or buy stops, sorry. So let price come down somewhere in this area. So we have enough breathing room to set the buy stops. And let's say price reaches down here for the tap of the 50-minute EMA, that's perfectly fine. We'll let and allow the price to reach back and then continue up, right? So perfect planning, safe planning, no need to rush and no need to be impatient. And you can see now, look, GJ is still pushing up here, right? Although the opening kind of seemed convincing that it could push down, but look, still coming up and definitely could cross the EMA towards the 30-minute. Oh, sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes. I always do double check the price when I do enter, but yes, thank you for correcting me. I really appreciate it. Now, normally I don't think I've ever gotten it wrong, but we always make or we all can make mistakes, right? So now USD CAD opened up with a bullish candle, but again, it doesn't seem that strong. It can definitely come down first. We're still in the first 15 minutes of London opening. So waiting for that push, up from GJ and waiting for that push down on USD CAD. So I would like at least 4 to 5 pips, right? So if this is our entry, yeah, sorry guys, I'm so busy watching the charts that I think I'm forgetting how to, correctly put numbers down. But I really appreciate you guys for correcting me. That's what it's all about. And let me just verify one more time. I believe this one should be correct. Thank you guys. All right, so price is coming down. Let's wait. This is looking the way the pairs are moving, guys. This is looking like both setups are going to be exactly clean. Remember, I use both GJ and USD CAD as inverse correlation pairs, right? Again, not 100% of the time, but 70-80% of the time they will be. And so as I'm looking for GJ to come up here, and then we can set our sell stops to push down, I'm looking for USD CAD to come down here and then push up here, right? So these are working right in line. This doesn't happen every day. It didn't happen yesterday on the stream. But it seems like because of lower volume events today during London session, at least for the time being, not high impact news coming for at least for the next 4 hours. Everything's working in line, which is perfect. Look at that push by GJ. Can we get a push from USD CAD as well so we can enter? Okay, so yes. Now GJ is pushing up. Can we get one more push? I mean, I think even the 1 hour EMA tap is possible for GJ, but nonetheless, we will set sell stops, and now I may adjust the sell stops depending on if GJ pushes even past the 30-minute EMA, so we can get a better entry once GJ comes back down. So we'll have to be very, very active here. And I'm looking at both pairs in real time, almost simultaneously, right? Because both setups are clean, and there is also a reason why instead of going double the amount of volume and lot size on one pair, going for both pairs makes more sense. I explained that yesterday in the stream as well. If you guys want to watch that explanation or listen to that explanation, but right now just focused on GJ and USD CAD and with their entries. So 2 potential entries. Very, very close. We're about still 6 minutes away from the 50-minute candle closure and 1 minute away from the 5-minute candle closure. So now look, on the 5 minutes now, GJ is coming up here. So again, even though it's at the top of the end of the range, there's a 50-minute candle coming up in 6 minutes, and also the 5-minute candle closure coming up as well. So 2 new candles can open up in the next minute, or will open up in the next minute and in 6 minutes, and that could push up the price, right? So that's why it's not always good to have market execution orders. So I found kind of a safe way of how to enter buy stops and sell stops, and I think that's honestly why I have a higher accuracy, or higher win rate as well amongst vast amount of traders. Again, I should mention that as long as the strategy complies with that as well, right? With the buy stops and sell stops and how you can use that to your advantage. All right, so USD CAD opened up with no wick on the current candle. There's still 5 minutes left, to close the 50 minutes. So we can definitely see this push back down. There's no wick on the current candle. Can push down past this last wick here. And at that point, we can go ahead and set the buy stops. I feel confident in that. And GJ, GJ is pushing down. Again, no wick. So they're almost working in perfect synchrony today, right? No wick on that candle, no wick on this candle. So the correlation aspect is brilliant today. So we can expect GJ to come back up here and tap the 30-minute and even go past. At that point, either I set the sell stops or I adjust my sell stops to somewhere closer to the range, top end of the range, if price moves past the 30 minutes, right? If it crosses the 30-minute EMA and goes towards the 1 hour EMA, at that point, I'm going to adjust my the sell stops up to here. But for now, I'm going to keep it at 825. But again, these are not active. When I make the trades active, I'm going to change the color to dark blue. All right, here comes USD CAD back down, and GJ most likely back up, right? And it's not to say that they're not in a range. GJ, look, is still in this, caught up in this range as well, right? Even though it's a smaller range, but it's still a range. Patience is key. And over time, you guys will enjoy the patience because you guys can see how price is moving according to your plan in real time. Once you can appreciate that, and even if it doesn't move accordingly to your plan, but it's still moving, you still have a bias for the price to move, against your direction, for the same reason that, it comes back to your target, right? So GJ, we had a plan that GJ would come down and dip down here, right? But at the same time, even if it works against you, we still had a second bias here that if it can come up here and tap the EMAs, 15 minutes, 5 minutes even, and the 30-minute EMA, and then we can set the sells for us to get a clean sell trade, right? So both ways, that's working according to our plan. And once you can appreciate that, and it does appear to happen as it is, at that point, I think there's going to be a change in your trading, right? Again, that doesn't mean that, you don't do trade management appropriately, or, you don't adjust the risk appropriately, or, take profits along the way. That doesn't mean that. Trade management is huge and critical. Maybe the most important reason why a trader is profitable is because he or she can take profits along the way and adjust your stops. But the strategy itself and your entries are also as critical as well. All right, so now GJ did create a small wick on the current candle. Just doesn't seem to give us that push up, right? If it does bring that push down, we're going to have to wait for the price to reach down here, right? That's just a part of the game. And okay, USD CAD at least came down. Now, can it push down further? I mean, it did come down here. We missed it because we were watching GJ on the chart, but can it come down here? I need USD CAD to come down past this wick here for me to be comfortable with the buy stops. And we're about 1 minute away from the 15-minute candle opening. So you can see now, yes, same reason now. 15-minute candle is coming in 1 minute, and price is near our entry, but not the right time because there's too much of a risk that it can push down. Price can come down here. We don't want to be in automatic drawdown. Let it come down, and then we can set the buy stops. I'm still, with that game plan, so I'm still going to wait out for that. Okay, so now it's pouring. GG is pouring. Let's see. Will it make one flip here and come back up? Could we get one more push down? Could we also adjust the stops here as well? Let's see. No, because there's an EMA here. If GJ comes down here, then we can probably see that the bottom end of the potential larger range can be over here, right? So we're gonna have to identify that as well. Doesn't mean that the range won't complete even from up here, right? Let's say there's our range bottom end is here. It still doesn't mean that even if it comes down here, it won't come up here, but we can get a better entry for this range. But let's see. So again, these will be invalidated if price does not come back up. Again, the 50-minute candle just opened. So if this continues to push, it's tapping the 5-minute on, USD CAD. There's a non-wick candle here. There's a non-wick candle here. And it came close. It came real close to tapping the 30-minute EMA. GJ did. It was about 2.7 pips away. And now again, the 2.7 pips could have been the difference between us, entering the sell stops and being in, profit, right? But that was also our safety marker. The 2.7 pips would have been critical in our entry and also critical in, our risk. So you can see now USD CAD is faltering here, tapping the EMA and pushing down. Now the thing is, now if USD CAD comes down here, there's a 15-minute EMA here. So let me see this range here. If we bring this down, let's see this range. 22 pips, so not bad of a range. So instead of, me putting it here, I can bring the, it closer to here so we can get a larger amount of pips here, right? So you have to adjust and modify according to how price is moving. You can see GJ again is also doing that as well. So if USD CAD is going to push down further, let's see if we settle here. And how many pips is it away from there? About 10 pips. At the lowest, it was what, 7 pips away. So it's not bad. It's not too many large amount of pips here that to capture and tap the EMA here for USD CAD. And GJ now is pushing down. Let's see on the 30-minute. So we sell about 11 minutes on the 30-minute candle opening. Let's see here. We have this range here as well, right? This one right here, which is 19 pips. So we could see something here as well. Let's see if this is more valid. 1 to 1, 2 to 2. And then we can get the third tap here. And the way up here for the 30-minute tap, and then it can come down as well. So, and instead of being trapped in this setup, you can use that setup to find out if price will still potentially reach here, which it seems like it would. And so I'm going to avoid that smaller setup here and wait for the 30-minute EMA tap. USD CAD, I'm going to take a look. If it does push down, we're going to slightly adjust our range here, bottom end of the range, or continue, to wait for the price to reach here. So let's let the price come down. Even if it doesn't tap it at this point around, somewhere around here, we're going to enter the buy stops. So again, price, both pairs are testing our patience, and that's something that you have to, agree with, right? At least psychologically. No FOMO at all, right? Do not have FOMO. That's terrible, especially in trading. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at as well. Right, GJ can definitely push up. If it doesn't have the confidence to push down, as it keeps rejecting the downside, um, it can definitely come back up. And for me personally, I can see GJ with the rejection on the downside it hasn't completed its push up, right? So the full reversal may not occur right now, just because they may do whether it's a liquidity grab or whatever you want to call it. It's not fully completed its push up. And if it has, it most likely will pour down in the next 15-20 minutes or less. USD CAD, oh wow. So USD CAD push all the way up. So now that gives more confidence in GJ to push all the way down. Oh wow, great push. But I guess the range was respected. And not only was it respected, but it may complete the move up, right? And in certain scenarios, our setup was clean, right? If you line it up, setup was very clean, barely any in drawdown. But the issue was that I wasn't confident because of the EMA here. So certain times, again, 75 to 80% of the time, I will still be doing buy stops or sell stops. In certain times, yes, if there's an EMA tap here or some confluence, I'll let the buys happen at instant execution and let the price run. But the idea is the direction in the intended target was still valid. Alrighty. Okay. So GJ is coming down here. So we got 6 minutes left to close off the 30-minute. Now again, if GJ pushes down, we're going to invalidate the sell stops, of course, and look for the buys, which was our original intention with GJ. But it continues to range in this area, right? So currently it's in this range as we have evaluated, right? So it's in this range right here. 1, 1, 2, 2. And now I can, bounce off here and go up to the 30-minute EMA, 15, and then 30-minute EMA up here, which will come down as we get the new 30-minute candle, right? So it might just be up here. So let's see if it settles here. And again, even this range itself, it's almost 20 pips, right? So that's almost half the full range here. So this might not be a bad setup. So what I can do here is I'm going to wait for the 30-minute candle, right? So I can't risk that because it can push down. But if this validates, then, the buys, let's say it dips down here, somewhere in this area, crossing the previous wick, somewhere in this area, maybe we can settle for the buys, but need the 30-minute to close. And wow, USD CAD complete the full push up here. Alrighty. So again, this would be done here. So yeah, I may look for buys above 182.670, but I need the 30-minute to close. If I don't get the 30-minute closure, I won't be entering anything here. Right, and then we could look for sells here as well. So there's a lot of things going on here. 1, 2, 2. We got the third touch, and then we got this. But it can blow through this here as well. So I'll keep that now in mind. So USD CAD sells. Or sell stops. And hopefully I don't get the price wrong this time. No typos. 134. Let's see. So need the price to come up here. Even 990 is fine. So 1.34990. Again, for anybody joining, for all you guys joining now, I don't enter, if it's a sell stop, I don't enter that on the device unless, or you guys should not enter that unless I turn the flaw into blue. So when I turn it to blue, that's when you guys will know that I've entered this, right? Of course, I'm speaking as well in real time, so you guys will know, but until it's not that, I have not entered that. Okay, GD is pushing down, so we got 1 minute left. So I'm going to also look for buys here. Because again, it is 20 pips, so that's not a bad move here. So at, where is it? 182. And again, I'm not activating this right now, guys. Keep that in mind, please. This is something that I write here beforehand so we can get that ready, right? So we got the 30-minute candle closure. And I'm going to let price ride. We're going to wait for the 30-minute candle closure. Here it is. Oh, wow. No, it just happened too fast. All right, here. Okay, here price comes. Okay. Let's see now. No. The 18 pips. I'm not in this trade right now, guys. It just it's happening too fast right now, so I'm gonna wait it out. If GD does not come back down, we're gonna wait for the sells here, but too quick, and it's not good to react that way and be impulsive in these setups. So let's wait. What is this? 18 pips, so it's gonna be 18 pips. So waiting for price to dip below here, below this wick, and give us enough breathing room to set this buy stop, right? So waiting for price to reach below here. Remove that. Okay, here it may come. Again, we need, the way GG is moving, I need at least 6-7 pips at least now for me to react. Okay, here it comes. Okay, guys, GJ sell stops. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I've set GJ sell stops now, or buy stops, sorry, GJ buy stops at 182.660. So we're waiting for price, unless it pours all the way down, we're waiting for price to tap our target here, or entry here, sorry. 182.660. 18 pips, so 182.480 is our stop loss, and 182.840. Sorry, 182 840 is our TP, and 182.480 is our stop loss, with 182.660 as our entry. And we're not tapped in yet. If GJ pours down, then we're going to wait out for this, but we're looking for this range first, right here. The larger range is this 1 to 1, which was our intended range at the beginning of the stream. So both ways, we won't be hurt by this. Okay, so we got both ideas here, and it's a safety because we're not tapped in, right? If price doesn't come back, then it never executed and we're safe from that setup. Now USD CAD did tap here, but I'm not confident yet again. I need the price to push up further. But this is entered, so I'm going to keep this blue now. Still about 5-6 pips away from being activated. Let's see. Again, no issue. If it pours all the way down, we go for the buy stops here. But if it respects the smaller range, then we can go for these buy stops here. So keeping it safe here. Okay, here USD CAD comes. So we're going to look for sells here. So 13 pips. 13 pips. So both are looking clean now, according to what we like it to. And you can see how we're making adjustments in real time. That's the most beautiful thing about, active trade management, is that biases can be changed, but they're still in a healthy balance psychologically, because they're still working in line to what we would like it to, right? All right, so we have not entered USD CAD because we did not get, price moving above this area. And GJ might reject and come back, but we're going to have to wait and see here. Okay, if USD comes down here, you can see again that it respected the range to the upside and to the bottom. But again, I'm playing it more safer just because of how GJ is moving here, right? So let's see. Again, doesn't take away from the range system itself. As you can see that these are clean ranges. Okay, here GJ comes. We may get activated in this current 5-minute candle. So waiting for the trade to be active, but it's entered on MT5. see. How many pips before it gets to the top here? About 5 or 6 pips. Okay, so GJ seems to be pouring down and not activating our. So we're gonna make a quick push here to have our buy stop set here. Yeah, if it pushes down, next 5-minute candle, it could definitely come down here, and we're gonna go for our initial plan here then. So we're gonna adjust our buy stops. Yeah, so it's pushing. Okay. So that was our intended target here. And since it crossed this, we can see that it can push down. So instead of following, the smaller range and tapping the 30-minute and us going for sells, we didn't do that. We thought maybe it's in the smaller range. It, blew through that. But the initial range that we'd drawn out at the beginning of, the stream, that's what it's respecting, right? We always had intended that GJ will come down. But in this case, it's coming down now. So that's perfectly fine. So we're going to adjust the buy stops. I will see to it. So yeah, I think unless it still respects it here, because we still have about 6 minutes to the candle closure. So let's see here, 660. So I'm still going to keep the buy stops open here, like until the 50-minute candle closure. So let's see if it pushes down, which again, it has more certainty to do that. Okay. One more push, and we're gonna remove the buy stops or adjust the buy stops. Yeah. So USD CAD is coming up here as well. So USD CAD we may activate or enter. Okay. So yeah. So I'm going to remove the GJ buy stops, and we're gonna bring it down here, and we're going to change the amount to 182,400. And again, we're waiting for the price. So I'm going to bring it back to the black font here. So this is not yet activated. And again, this is a buy stop. So we're waiting for price to come below. Right here. We're waiting for price to come below this area right here. And once it reaches here, at that point, we'll set these buy stops. Right? Perfect. So very, very clean here. And need USD CAD to make one more push up here. So we can go ahead and do these sell stops. One more push up here. And that would help us to set the sell stops along with some breathing room. Right, so GJ is pushing down. We got 4 minutes left. So now do we want to enter prior to the 50-minute candle closure? Oh, there you go. Big push. So remove the buy stops. And now we're going to potentially enter these buy stops, but waiting for the price to reach below, right? I needed to reach around this area. This area, the 182,300 area. Or at least up here, at least 6-7 pips below. All right, it's coming there. It's coming. Okay, a little bit more of a push. Yeah, I need one more push from GJ here. And there's 2 minutes left to the 50-minute candle closure. So I think I will wait until the 50-minute candle closure because it is significant here. Unless we get that push down here to 182.300. And then I can, be confident in the next 50-minute candle can, push it up. So can we get one more push here? And USD CAD is coming up as well. All right, here it comes. So one more push. Okay, here it comes. We're going to keep it at 20 pips. And 20 pips. And 182.400. All right, 1 minute left to the candle closure. So be ready, guys. I'm going to be entering both pretty much at the same time, nearly. So any second now, we're going to get the 50-minute candle opening. So I'm waiting for the new candle opening. All right, here it comes. All right, here's the new candle. Can we get a stronger push past this, last 50-minute candle wick here? It's coming down. Okay, guys, I'm setting the buy stops at 182.450. 182.450 is the GJ buy stops. Right here. So this trade is active. I mean, not active, sorry. It hasn't tapped in yet. But the trade is entered. And we're waiting for it to be active. Right? We're waiting for the buy stops to hit. And USD CAD, I'm also entering this as well. So 1.34990. And it's going to be a 13 pip profit target. And I put 13 pip stop loss. So here it is, guys. Here it is. All right, USD CAD is active, guys. 130 from right at entry right now. And 1.35, 120 is stop loss. 1.34860 is our TP. And both are active. For GJ, I'm going to let runners run after it hits our profit target. So I'm going to close 50% at TP1. And I'm going to let runners run for both pairs. All right, let's go. Let's go, GJ. Beautiful. Look at that push. Anybody entered both pairs? Type 1 in the chat, guys. I just want to know. Whoever's been following along through the stream. Anybody entered both setups? Or if you have entered one, you can mention which pair. So both pairs are in direct profit, immediate profit. Perfect. Should be 20 pips. Nice. Nice push. Look at that, guys. Clean push. Wow. Nice. All right, so everybody's in GJ, nobody's in USD CAD. Nice. All right, well, GJ is about to wrap up here as long with the USD CAD as well. They're just too clean. I mean, you guys can see this is the most powerful aspect of the strategy where both pairs are in line, especially if you have correlation pairs and, you know, pushing through. Look at USD CAD just pushing through. There's a EMA tab coming for USD CAD. GJ, we need one more push. Can get that, you know, strong push before the hour closure here. Got a new 5-minute candle coming as well. Okay, excellent. So we do have somebody that's entered both pairs as well. Let's see. And again, there's a reason why sometimes entering both setups may be more valid than just entering one setup. It doesn't always happen because at times, you know, they are, even though they're correlated, inversely correlated, sometimes, you know, the correlation may not work for that time period, that session, whether there's fundamental events or other, you know, things hampering it. But at times when it's in line, sometimes it may be a better option. Well, let's see. Oh, USD CAD is pushing. We can get it past. Okay, new 5-minute candle. Can we continue the push down? And GJ, we need to push up here. We need to get to the 5-minute EMA here. You can see there's a small consolidation zone here with GJ, but could definitely, with, you know, the volume pickup, can definitely push up here. I mean, I think we can see even a potential TP hit, you know, prior to the hour candle closure. All right, USD CAD is really pushing. I'm going to close 50% and let the others run up to at least TP, so to the EMA. That's for USD CAD. And for GJ, definitely GJ as well here. We can get two TP target here as well. So let me list that right here. So TP1. Let's change the color here. So TP1 here. Then we got TP2 right at the 30-minute EMA. Or at 40 pips, whatever is better. I think it's fine. Let me create an array right here. So 650. Yeah, this is for more visibility. $650 here. That's TP1, and then TP2 is right at the top. And again, sometimes, you know, some, you know, don't want to wait for the hour candle closure just so there may be a reversal. You can close some even now, you're in profit, or close partials along the way. Oh, wow, USD CAD is nearly done. Nice. Nice. All right, let's get the push. If we can get this, you know, pushed above right here, this area right here, 182.550 even, I think we can get to the TP, at least TP1 before the hour candle, the new hour candle opening. But if it pushes down here, consolidates here, then we're gonna, you know, be in for the hour coming down and then, you know, waiting for it to go up. But yeah, USD CAD, you guys can see now sometimes the advantage of taking both pairs when they're clean, right? I only do that when they're exactly clean. Again, it won't work out 100% of the time, but there is more certainty. Come on, GJ, you can push. Let's get that push above here. We need it to go above 182.550 for a clean, 1 hour candle closure, and then get the rest of the push up. Oh, this should be TP2. Yeah, I do use the 50 EMA. Sometimes, yes, if it works in line with the range, but sometimes I may not. Yes, if it does appear within the range, more likely yes than no, because it's a stronger confluence at times, and it may reject. Price may get there and reject, and so to lower the risk and mitigate the risk, I may close out at the EMA at times. But again, each situation is different, so you have to adjust accordingly. Sometimes they may just fly past through the EMA. As you can see, USD CAD may reject it here, but may push down as well. We got another 5-minute candle opening coming up. Okay, so GJ is consolidating here right at entry now. You can see it's consolidating. It's consolidating in this small zone here, and waiting for the hour to maybe create a larger wick before it makes the move up. But you never know if we get the 5-minute candle opening with another push up, which would help, our cause. And USD CAD, nearly there. Okay, GJ, right back at entry. We could get a strong bullish candle for GJ, which we may. It's coming. And USD CAD, again, I'm going to be closing 50% at TP1. Let me also label it here as well. TP1. Right here. And TP2. Over here. See, GJ, nice, GJ. Let's go. We got the move up above 550, and we got 5 minutes left. So still, according to what I was saying, that if we get that push above here, we can probably get our TP1 target before the hour candle closure here. So again, if you guys are satisfied, you guys can close out here. If not, it's up to you guys, but this is looking like a clean range. I mean, it's working perfectly in line with the range, which I mentioned at the beginning of the hour, or at the beginning of the stream, sorry. And look, clean setup here. Just perfect in nature and perfect overall. USD CAD now. Actually, let me just see how GJ pushes up here. I think this is a clean push up, at least to the EMA as well. And now, guys, I am gonna set my adjust my stops for GJ. So to break even. Ooh, we got a push here. Ooh. Can we get a push from GJ here to close out? How many pips was that? That was 15 pips. So that was about 75% of our trade, at least at TP1. Ooh. Not a good rejection here. All right, well, we got a couple minutes left. But again, I am going to mitigate my risk. Don't want to go back into drawdown. So what happens is now if this trade comes back to break even, I may re-enter after the hour opening, right? Because they may come down and push down here. It may come down and push and create a larger wick, and then I'll re-enter the setup. So no issue. Let's see though. Well, this would be a tie-dye break even. Yeah, so it's a complete collapse here. Right, a fake out here. So it's respecting this range at the bottom end of our range. So yeah, I think this is going to be break even now. So no issue. We're going to wait for the new hour. And for USD CAD, let me adjust this. What is it? TP. Why this is not clicking here? TP2. Yeah, so it's going to come down. So I'm going to re-enter after the hour now. So this is stopped out. So break even. Again, I did not want this trade to come back into drawdown, right? So for me, not comfortable with that. Break even now, the hour opening. For some of you guys who didn't adjust the TP, well, here it comes. And at least got the USD CAD here to come down. But for whoever didn't adjust, let's see. Will it come down first? If it comes down, I may retake it. USD CAD is coming down to hit our TP. Excellent. And GJ, let's see. Okay, excellent. So USD CAD just hit TP, stops at break even. Excellent. And TP2 is coming. So USD CAD is just pouring down now. Nice. You could see now, as I was explaining why sometimes it may be in a better interest to enter both clean setups for the inverse correlated pairs. So we hit our TP1 now, and we're running risk-free on USD CAD. Meanwhile, GJ could come down here, create another wick here, right? So I exited safely at break even. Although we had that, strong push in the last minute, but still not taking that risk of going back into drawdown. So, satisfied with that. Hit TP in USD CAD. Risk-free trade here as well now. And we're waiting for our TP2 to be tapped. But there is a non-wick candle in the current USD CAD, so it could come up here and then come down and push down here to hit TP2. So yeah, GJ can definitely come down here. You could see now that it is in this range. And that's what I caught on when there was a huge kind of a wick being created on the last 15-minute or 5-minute candle. So it can come down here. It's a 13, 14 pip range here. So GJ can come down. And if it comes down here past this, bottom part here, I'm going to re-enter this. And I'll stay here for the stream as well. Even though we have safety with the USD CAD setup here. So clean setup. Happy for all, who did take the USD CAD setup as well. But again, GJ could really push up here for anybody. Was there anyone that did not put the stops at break even for GJ? Is there anyone still in GJ? You can type 1. Or it may be. Yeah, exactly. That was my decision as well. That better safe than sorry. But again, sometimes if you have an appetite, to continue without setting stops at break even, who knows? It might come right up to, tap the 5-minute EMA, which is, above our TP1 target. But nonetheless, that's where I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that everyone, even if we trade the same pair, same setup, same entry even, we may have a different close or exit to the trade, right? So for me, some of you guys watching closed at break even, but for whoever did not, look what's happening with GJ right now, right? It's nearly to our TP. And if you still have a second chance right now, you can close out right now as well, 75% of the trade. But this is where it takes the individual to decide on their own at where they want to close out, right? And that's what defines, a profitable trader, the management, trade management. Nonetheless, GJ is a clean setup, right? Even if it comes back down here, that'll just be in a smaller range, comes down here, still that setup is too clean. And that's why I was willing to take it again if it did execute in that manner. And if it still does, who knows? Yeah, you consider that as still a bottom. Yeah, absolutely. And you didn't risk much. Exactly. Right. So even all these setups, and I'll mention it again as we get new viewers, watching the streams, is that all these setups that I do, preferring it to be a 1% risk because I'm taking only medium to low risk setups here. And congrats to all those that held on to GJ. It seems like TP1 is hitting. Clean setup here. So even if, GJ does complete the move here, I'm still going to stick around to get to see what happens to USD CAD. It's, the intention is that GJ comes down or USD CAD comes down to tap the EMA here. Oh, there you go. GJ just hit TP1, guys. So for all those that are still in GJ, at this point, I would, either close 100%. And if you're still willing to take the risk, you can go ahead and maybe close 50% or, and put stops at breaking. But stops should definitely be adjusted nonetheless at this point. But congrats to whoever did take it and held it. TP1 did hit. The analysis was point on. And we followed through our game plan. And look. Yeah, now I can, assume here if GJ comes back down here. If GJ comes back down here now after tapping TP1, which was a great target. If it does come back, it'll come back and create this range, or follow with the larger range in mind and complete, the overall target of for GJ right now, at least for this range. USD CAD still has this non-wick candle here, so waiting for either to fill up this non-wick candle or for USD CAD to push down to our TP2 target. And again, for anyone who is viewing the streams and did not take either or, it's perfectly fine. You should not have FOMO, right? That's something that can be very deadly, right? And very negative in the trading world. So, observe the charts, look at the charts yourself, understand. Even if you want to trade on a demo account through these streams, you can, and see how effective the strategy is and test it for yourself. But even if you watched, the previous streams, you'll see the recognizable win rate, right, and the accuracy of the setups, right. And let's just say if you did, take the setup and you broke even for the day, that's perfectly fine as well. A break-even day is better than a losing day. And we're getting these setups almost every day, right? So I'm on these streams daily, Monday to Friday. So we're getting these setups actively. We had a 2 TP target for GJ yesterday. So no worries. We're going to get many more setups along the way. And trading is a long game. It's not a short game here. Okay, so USD CAD, I guess it's ranging in this, area now. See the 15 in it. Okay. Do I trade only the London session? No. So I trade New York session as well, but again, I only stream the London sessions, right? Here we're getting a good push up on USD CAD here. So this is a risk-free trade, nonetheless. And now GJ is coming down. So if we get a quick move on GJ here, a quick push down past this area, I may re-enter during this stream. So if you guys are still watching, I may execute GJ again because of how effective, the range is. So that's the reason why I would attempt it again, but I would only maybe just take a TP1 target instead of a TP2 target. And you can see USD CAD is flying through. Now the interesting point here that one should see is that how effective the range that was drawn out even prior to it being fully developed, that it's pretty exact. Look at that. 1 tapped, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, how exact the range is. So the whole strategy is trading within the range. And I'm showing you guys through these streams how effective the range is. Whether you do a sell stop or buy stop, or whether you do instant execution, again, you have to favor either or. I favor the sell stops and buy stops more than instant execution, and there's valid reasons why. But the idea is that the strategy is bulletproof. It's simple. The only thing you need experience with is drawing out the ranges, the correct ranges that are valid in the correct time frame, right? That's why you just switch through and continue to work on the charts and be active and figure this out for your pair in the given session. And that's how how you'll gain that valuable experience over time, and thus the skill of trading. Alrighty, so USD CAD is again risk free. Set the rest at break even, and GJ is ranging in this small area here. Again, could push down. Let's look at the hour here. So it can definitely come and push down here and create a larger wick, or it can continue to move up. Let's see USD CAD. So USD CAD is definitely coming up. We're about, what is it, like 3 pips away. Our runners are still running here in profit. I guess it still wants to respect the range, right? We got 50-minute candle opening coming up. And again, you can see I'm always mindful of the new candle openings. Have to be very, very active, right? And again, it may seem hard overall initially, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, time is always, looked at. Always, you have to be careful with shifting the time frames. There's a lot of things to consider. But at the end of the journey, it's more peaceful than tough. All right, here USD CAD comes with the new candle opening, and would close us out here. But again, that's, we already have targeted a TP1 here, and GJ. I would love to enter this setup if it comes down, as the range looks pretty valid here. I won't enter USD CAD again. It doesn't look convincing because again, it has completed at least 3 touches on each end, and then the accuracy decreases past that. During the lunch session, don't you look at EU and GU as well? No, I do not. And I've had a lot of success without looking at those pairs, right? GU and GJ are positively correlated, but I prefer not to look at other pairs, right? Again, psychologically, it's not good to look at too many pairs. It takes away from you actually studying the exact pair that you want to trade, right? Too many pairs, it gets messy. Right? If you know all the price points for each pairs, as many pairs as you trade, that's fine. But again, it's too much to look after, right? And you can see now during high volume session times, especially in the last half hour, how fast I had to switch through different time frames and the 2 pairs to enter those setups, right? Of course, now if you're swing trading or if you're not going to be entering, scalping sessions, yes, maybe you're able to handle more pairs, but generally it's not a good idea, just because it takes you, oh so long just to study one single pair, right? And try to master the movements of it. All right, can we get that push down? So now you can see now this range is looking pretty sure now. So GJ can pour down here, and then we can go ahead and get that entry to our TP1 again with the EMA tap above. And USD CAD, okay, USD CAD is done for the day as well. So we had this set up, right? We just got the TP1, and I won't be re-entering USD CAD, but I definitely am interested in re-entering GJ, right? So this might be an instant execution, guys. So let me see if it pushes down here, right? So USD CAD is done. We got the 1 TP here, and it's unfortunate for GJ. The original setup, we had, GJ stop us out with maybe where's 450? Yeah, literally right to our entry. Wow. It came right to our entry and it went right above. So it did not even go in drawdown. And that's how we, I put my stops to break even. That's why. So even if we had maybe a 10 pip stop loss or so, it would have still been valid. But that's okay. I'm going to let it ride down here. And see. Let's go back here. If we can get a re-entry on this pair. Now USD CAD may be valid, but again, I'm not going to re-enter. I already have one here. But for GJ, definitely I want to consider re-entering this one. Let's see. And for all we know, USD CAD might just pour down or it might just continue the move up. Right? But again, for GJ, you have to be careful now. There is, some high impact news coming, right? The monetary policy, the bank rate at 7 a.m. Eastern time, so that's less than 3 hours from now. Still enough room to maybe get one set up here for GJ. Probably look at 400. And maybe not buy stops this time, but let's see. So it wouldn't even be if we do 20 pips. Or we can do 25 pips. So 400. All right, so yeah, it is lining up as I would like it. Let's go 400. And it'll be 25 pips on each end. And it'll be instant execution, guys. I'm not taking buy stop here. Okay, let's see. But I am going to wait for price to dip down here before I do an instant execution. So looking for the price to at least dip down here. Okay, so we may get that, move down for the next 5-minute candle opening, or we might get it in this current 5-minute candle, which has 3 minutes left. So this is our second chance. We broke even on the first chance, and now look, USD CAD as well. Clean push down possibly here. Again, this is just, the validity of and accuracy of the strategy here, right? How many times you can catch the move. I'm only usually just going to play one direction on the streams, but once you understand this strategy more and more, you can understand that this is a very powerful strategy that you can trade alone. And once you capture a significant range in a certain time frame, you can get all directions. You can get one down, up, and potentially another one down. Right? So very, very powerful strategy here. All right, so we got 2 minutes left. I'm anticipating another push down here. So one more close of a 5-minute candle with, engulfing candle down here. All right, we're getting the push. So going to wait for the next 5-minute candle opening at least if I would like to enter. Hopefully it does come down here. We're about 6-7 pips away. So typically if we can get, or ideally if we can get a close up over here and then a push down, and then we can enter. That would be ideal. Or if not, call it a day, right? Play safe, hit 1 TP. And again, the USD CAD is continuing to go, right? Even if we were in drawdown on this, I mean, it's so minimal here. All right, here comes GJ. New candle opening. Can we get one more push? One more push. Need a 4 or 5 pip push down. Oh, USD CAD is pushing. So likely if USD CAD comes down here, it's going to break out and tap this target right here. All right, here comes GJ. And we just need like a 2-3 pip more push to push to the downside. And I'm looking for, instant execution here, guys, for GJ. I mean, nearly 2 pips away now. Can we get one more push? And we got the half-an-hour candle coming as well. Definitely get a 50-minute candle closing down here as well. So again, if I'm not satisfied if GJ doesn't come down here, then I'm not going to be taking that setup. Call it a day. But if it does come down, I consider it. Okay, here it comes. It's making it interesting. All right, here comes a push. So now again, I'm going to wait for price to dip down. If it's safer to take buy stops, I will. But if it's an execution, why not? So I may actually, execute at a lower price, but for the same intended direction to the upside. Okay, here it comes. So it's nearly at our entry now. About 1.9 pips away. Let's look at the 50-minute candle here. So we got 3 minutes left on the new 50-minute and 30-minute candle opening. So now it's making it more tricky now. Do we wait for the new opening or should we execute once the price reaches down here? So depending on how the price moves, I mean, USD CAD is just a clean ride down. Wow. Very nice. Yeah, I'm looking for one more push. At least I want it to cross 182.400. I mean, even if it's slightly. We got 2 minutes left to the 50-minute and 30-minute candle closure. So most likely you will wait until that candle opening. Anybody else going for the GJ re-entry or thinking of? You could type 1. All right, here GJ comes. Okay, we got 1 minute left, so I'm waiting for the 15-minute candle closing and half an hour candle closing. So let's see. Could GJ come down below? Okay. Yep. It's coming down. So we're going to probably close right around entry. And I anticipate the price to dip below. So I may, change the buys to buy stops instead. But let's see. This is just a second chance if we get it here. Okay, here is the opening. Are we going to get that push? Okay, price is right around entry now. And do one more push. Okay, guys, I'm entering. So 182.400. This is instant execution. So I'm in the setup now. So 182.400 and stops at 182.150 with our TP at 182.650. All right, so second shot here at USD CAD or GJ, sorry. USD CAD, I mean all came down again, but already won at TP1 for that. But GJ is activated here, right? Or at least, the buy is instant execution here. So comfortable stop loss here, 25 pips. And comfortable TP here with 25 pips. And look, the 5-minute EMA is right at the top end of the TP here. So perfect alignment as well, right? So let's draw out the range end here as well. Okay, anybody in the GJ setup, you can type 1. Just want to see if anybody got in. I mean, the price is below entry right now, so. Okay, it's about 4 pips below, 2 pips now below entry. Okay, excellent. Let's see here now. Yeah, I mean, there's an EMA here, which is a perfect alignment with the range. I could definitely let runners run as well at TP1 here, but we need a reversal here now. Already had the USD CAD win at TP1 here. All right, GJ, let's do the magic here. We got stopped out exactly on break even last time, which was, you know, had to mitigate our risk though. And it hit TP1, but no issue. Came right back down to entry, and it's a valid range as we see it. And there is a confluence, the EMA, right at the top end of this range, which it has respected now multiple times. So we just need a clean push. It's a 25 pip range, not too harsh. And so hopefully the next 5-minute candle here now can do a bullish run, right? Which would be perfect for this type of setup. All right, here comes the next 5-minute candle. Oh, I forgot to turn the text blue. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. You know, how fast the pairs are moving and so forth. So this would be pretty valid that we can get one win on USD CAD and one win on GJ. And again, this is all minimum to no drawdown, right? Which is one of the most powerful things about this strategy. Little to no drawdown and a clean candle, right? One clean candle and it drives the movement up. You can see on the 50-minute now, this can be a clean push to the upside and go past, you know, even our intended target to maybe the 15-minute EMA as well. Very, very likely as well. Again, there's a fundamental event, you know, the monetary policy is coming up in 2.5 hours, but we're not going to stick around for that. You know, we get our profit targets and we're out for the day, right? I mean, USD CAD was such a clean call. Now USD CAD is coming up again now. So might continue to push up, but we need one TP hit for USD GJ, and that will give us at least that confidence that we didn't miss out on the clean GJ setup here. But just the way USD CAD is moving here is driving, you know, GJ away as well again. Still in profit though, just around our entry. But need that exposure up to the upside for GJ. So we're going right below entry again. We could wick here and, you know, do a clean push to the upside. USD CAD is coming up. See the 50-minute EMA is approaching the bottom end of that range. But this was already, we already won this trade as it hit TP1. I can even adjust this down to here. This previous area of support here. We need a push here. We need a bullish candle here to, you know, get things moving here. So right below entry, about 3 pips below entry. But if we can get a reversal here with a bullish push, I think this target can be hit before the hour closes. The hour candle closes. Let's see. Just 2 pips shy of break even right now, or the break even point. Got 2 minutes left for the next 5-minute candle closing. Okay, so USD CAD is making its way up. Good thing is we gave a little bit of breathing room for GJ, 25 pips. So we have enough of a distance before it hits the stops. But we need one bullish candle. Let's see here. Can get one bullish push here. About 20 pips away from stops. All right, let's see how the next 5-minute, the current 5-minute closing and then the next 5-minute candle opening. Let's see if it respects this current range. You can see that 5-minute EMA is approaching now, to just underneath the profit target. So let's see if it's in line with that. Okay, let's see if now the next 5-minute candle opening, can we get a push? All right, here is a new 5-minute candle. Now, it would be nice if this candle creates a push up on the 50-minute. You can see here that this can be a mere wick. Wick here and then a bullish, 50-minute candle here. So let's see how the 50-minute candle closes in the next 5 minutes for the push up. At least we're looking for the push up here. So USD CAD. So floating around this top end of the range. USD CAD is floating around the bottom end of the range. We do have a 4-hour candle closure coming up in less than 20 minutes. Ideally I would like to avoid that. See the 4-hour here. It's a strong bearish push on the 4-hour here. See that? But I think that the initial target here, TP1, can still come back to hit at least the EMA. The EMA is pushing down now. So I got 3 minutes left. Will the 50-minute candle be, a wick and come up to back to our bottom end of the range, or will it continue to push down? So got 3 minutes left to see. Let's see the current. I don't think the current candle has a wick yet. So the current 5-minute candle does not have a wick. So it can definitely come back up here. If not this 5-minute candle, the next 5-minute candle. Let's see. No wick on the current candle, and it also being a, significant support area. as well as a defined bottom end of the range. So there's a lot of things tied, to price coming back up here, which is right around our entry area. So 2 minutes left for the 50-minute candle closure. Will it come back and seep back into this range? We're going to have to see. Let's see. Let's be patient here. Just shy of 2 minutes left to close up the 50-minute candle. So the ideal play here would be that the 50-minute candle comes back up, and the next candle to close out the hour pushes up to the at least a 5-minute EMA. All right, that's the play here. Let's see. Okay, so bearish push on the 50-minute candle. Let's look at USD CAD. USD CAD is trying to break out of that range as well. Let's look at the 30-minute and the 1 hour. So it's trying to break out of this range as well. That's why I gave it a little bit more of a breathing room for 25 pips. It does have no wick on the previous candle. Let's see. The hour hasn't closed off yet, so it could still come back into the range. Let's see here. So it can come back and fill up the non-wick candle, and then continue the bullish run. But let's see. Just gonna have to be patient here. Let's see how far GJ came into drawdown from our entry. About 11.5 pips. And now it's sitting around 8 pips in drawdown. Right, so it's a 25 pip drawdown, or 25 pip stop loss. But certainly before the hour closes, can fall right back into the range. And we may get a push up. But again, the way GJ is, dropping out of the range here, it could be a little bit of the fundamentals in play, prior to the high impact news, coming for GEP. So we're going to be right around 2 hours. Once the current 1 hour closes, we're going to be about 2 hours shy of the high impact news. So I certainly don't want to be in the setup at that time. So USD CAD is coming back down again. Let's see. You can see how fast the 5-minute EMA is jumping down on the the current range. So if it definitely let's say price comes up here, I may end up closing at the EMA just because the way GJ is moving, right? So don't want to lose out this setup, especially one that we broke even and a price came right at break even and then went to TP, right? So that was critical. But if we get this setup coming back into the range, let's see how we adjust and manage the trade. But we need at least GJ to come up, into profit or in break even at least, and back into the range before the hour closes. All right, let's look at the 4 hour again. Yeah, if you could come back here and range in this area here, that would be wonderful. And if GJ moves, perfectly fine in that capacity before the hour closes, I may again let runners run, but adjust the stops at break even. So it's a risk-free trade and we're profitable. Alrighty, okay, let's see. So 5-minute candle opening did create a wick. So we could definitely push here. On the 50-minute you can see, and then 30-minute here as well, which would essentially mean that it was a wick to the downside before it continued the pressure up. And you can see now sometimes why the buy stops and sell stops work better than the instant execution, right? In this case, the instant execution wasn't more so of just the confluences, but more so on the time element. And I thought that the move would complete as it did pressure down here, right? So again, GJ nearly came back to entry and is continuing the push down again. And again, this is the 4-hour candle closing coming up. 4-hour candle closure. So we need GJ to come up to at least break even and back into the range. That way there's more a confidence letting GJ run to TP1 and maybe letting runners run as well. But just a strong bearish push right now. Okay, it's continuing the push down. We still have 8 minutes left. And again, that also means if we survive the setup before the 8 minutes are up, kind of consolidating in this zone here in drawdown. Definitely could be a wick again to the upside. But let's just zoom in here and see. All right, so let's see. Continue the push. Again, the hour can still be a wick. The half hour and hour candle, but need a bullish candle, right? So we have 2 minutes left for the last 5-minute candle for GJ before the 4-hour candle closure. So can we get a bullish candle? Otherwise, this is going to push straight down. So let's see how that goes. Again, could still fall back into this range, as you can see here. And we do have the EMA taps above as well. So a lot of confluences up above. This GJ reaction is to the downside with the bearish push here, but let's see. And even USD CAD can come down. All right, we got 1 minute left to the 5-minute candle closure. We're trying to get a push up here on GJ, and it close at least within the range before the 4-hour candle closing. Right, so if it falls back into the range, it's most likely around break even. All right, here comes the last 5-minute candle before the 4-hour candle closure. So this candle might be critical here in managing the trade. Because now the 4-hour right here is going to close. Will it close below this range and continue to move down, or will it close 7 pips above back into the range? So that is the big question here. And USD CAD seems to come down here. Yeah, it is coming down. And GJ, can we get one bullish candle here? That could change things up for GJ here. The way it's been looking like in the last 15, 20, 25 minutes here for GJ with the bearish run. One bullish candle and it could change the overall direction here, right? And it'll be a powerful reversal because the 4-hour candle is about to close, right? So you can see now. Let me remove the drawings here. You can see now that's the 4-hour candle, and now let me put the drawings back. You can see now if it seeps back into this range, it could respect this range, and the new 4-hour candle, which is going to be also the new hour candle, can come back and hit our TP at least. All right, let's go back to the smaller time frame. Let me put the writing here a little bit. Oh, I'm not sure why it keeps disappearing here. All right, here we go. USD CAD, 4-hour as well. I'm not sure why it keeps hiding here, but still trying to push above. Let's see here. Got 2 minutes left. Okay, do I always have a one risk to reward? No, right? So it's a common question. Depending on the size of the range, at the minimum, yes, 1-to-1. But depending on the size of the range, that will define how many, what's going to be the risk, risk to reward ratio, right? So maybe 2 TPs, 3 TPs. You can watch some of our previous streams and how we adjust to different, risk to rewards, depending on the size of the range we're trading. That's the key thing with this strategy. And in my course, I've defined what a small range in size, small ranges in pips, a medium size range, and a large size range in pips, right? And for the two pairs that I trade, because USD CAD and GJ are slightly different in terms of, smaller ranges versus larger ranges. Not too far off, but maybe 5-10 pips off. And also in terms of the volume in how fast the range can be completed as well, right? For GJ has powerful moves in a given day, in a given session. So you have to adjust and modify, for that pair. Okay, so how do you deal with the spread at the challenges when scalping? Exactly. So yeah, so at times, if you if you're new to the streams, then I can explain again. But you can also look at my previous streams. The way I set up my entries are whether through buy stops and sell stops. So for example, let's say if we're looking at the current setup, even though this was an instant execution, because about 25 to 30% of the time, I'm going to have instant executions as my orders. But sometimes I will allow the price to reach below enough amount of pips below, considering the spread as well, so it doesn't get tapped in, right? So I set a buy stop. Let's say it's 9 pips right now. What GJ is about 9-10 pips below our entry. So I would go ahead and enter the buy stops and consider maybe. So my private accounts, I have very low spread because I chose for that type of account. But for challenge accounts, let's say it's 2 or 3, 2 or 3 pips. So let's say 3 pips here, and then I have another 3 or 4 pips. I allow the price to dip below the range, and then I go ahead and execute. So I have a little bit of breathing room, including spread, including some breathing room as well. And you'll notice with some prop firms, the spread is very high. So you want to choose the firm that you're trading with in terms of the challenges for spreads to be lower for the pairs that you like to trade, right? So Forex pairs, indices, and so forth. So you want to make sure that you do due diligence with the firm that you're going to be attempting to pass a challenge with. But the idea of allowing the price to surpass or above or below our potential entry and giving some breathing room, which includes just some space to move, and spread, accounting for spread, that gives you the allowance to not be stopped out or to be to enter too fast. So market executions wouldn't really work best as well with this strategy, right? So you want to get the idea of having buy stops and sell stops, right? And that will make you a more confident trader as well. All right, so GJ closed below our expected range here that we have drawn out here. let's see. We're about 7 pips below. Let me take a look at USD CAD. But we're getting a bullish push from GJ, right? So if we can continue that bullish push, can it satisfy the EMA, at least a 5-minute EMA? Ooh. So yeah, if we can get one bullish candle here, you know, maybe a 50-minute bullish candle here, I'll look out to even close, you know, in partial profits, because the way GJ is moving, it's settling here, and this might be some you know, bearish run because of the, you know, high impact news coming up. So this might be just pre-news bearish run. So let's see. But let's get that push. If we can get one bullish candle, this would really be a nice setup, right? I mean, it is a nice setup, but it would be really nice that GJ comes up here, because that would mean that it's still respecting that range. And we might be able to get to the 15-minute EMA as well here, up here. So one bullish candle here can change all. USD CAD, let's see USD CAD. Okay, it's, you know, stuck in there. Again, for anybody who just joined the stream, we already had completed this setup here. We won this setup here. GJ, we took the buys here, but it actually came down to our break-even point and then went literally right back up to TP1. So some of you guys did hold. So congrats to those who held. We were in no amount of a drawdown, but for safety reasons, mitigating risk, I put my stops at break even. And now this is our second retry at GJ. And seeing if we can come back up here, right? We're trying to get one push into the range for, you know, one bullish candle to fly up here. And I can definitely see GJ coming to the 5-minute EMA. But could it just fly past that and get to even the 15-minute EMA? That would be that would be nice. But again, GJ is slowing down, showing bearish momentum, maybe some pre-news bearish momentum. And that's not working, you know, to our interests. Okay, that's great. I mean, again, I am building a following on, you know, YouTube as well. So thank you for joining the stream, and thank you for subscribing as well. And yes, for the schedule, Mondays to Fridays, it's an hour before London opening. And normally, sometimes, I mean, for many of the times, we see some setups forming even prior, like last 50 minutes before London opening. So it's a great time to, you know, be on the charts if you're scalping GJ. You can see on the 1 hour here, if we can get that bearish push here, this would be really, really nice. How much do I plan to stream every London? So again, I don't plan on, you know, doing long streams. As long as we can get 1 or 2 setups that are clean, I will be, you know, staying on for. But again, the exercise of the streams was initially intended for all my course members, but I brought it to the public, you know, channel here. And again, for the time being, Mondays to Fridays, at least 1 hour, sorry, not at least, but before 1 hour before London opening. And depending on when we get the setup, anywhere between 1 to 2 to 3 hours, right? So we're right now entering the 3rd hour or the 4th hour now into the stream. So just past 3 hours of streaming, but that's because we already have entered some setups, and I was trying to get one last setup on GJ here. So one bullish candle here can bring us back into profit, and hopefully everybody can benefit from that. Let's see. Yeah, we might get the bullish candle here. Let's see. Yes, normally it's, yeah, I would say an average is 2 hours on the stream, right? All right, let's see. Yep, getting some bullish push here, but is it strong enough? That's the thing. Is it strong enough? Because the 4-hour candle and the 1-hour candle closed, below the range, right? So is it just forming a consolidation zone below the range to continue the push down, or is it going to push above? Just a small bullish candle can do the trick here, but it may have other plans. USD CAD is continuing to just consolidate within that range. But I believe if the 15-minute candle can close bullish, we can get another bullish candle to push up. And that would, I would suppose here that it could tap the 5-minute EMA and potentially the 50-minute as well. So that's the outlook right now. Let's see here. Now, if the 50-minute candle closes bearish, then this may just push down, right? And that's not going to be good for the setup here, because unless the next 50-minute candle just continues or flips and continues bullish, but the momentum is just, it's exhausting at the bottom end of the range, right? So we need a close above that range to be more confident in the setup, right? All right, so the new 5-minute candle opened up. The 50-minute candle has 5 minutes left to open up. The new 50-minute candle. It's even the 4-hour here can definitely push up here, but Jesus is becoming exhausted at the bottom end of the range here. So when the candle is exhausting itself, it normally means that it's gonna just continue bearish. But looking for the 50-minute candle to close here to see how it closes. But yes, that's what I was saying. The one bearish candle here, or sorry, bullish candle can do the trick here. But very, it's very exhaustive at the bottom end of the range here. Very exhaustive, which is working against us. But yes, if we get the 50-minute candle to close bullish and within the range, that would be good and ideal to hold on to this setup. So right now we're about 4 pips, 5 pips below entry. Now you can see on the 5-minute it's just consolidating right below the entry point. It even got to the highest point in the last half hour right now in this current candle, but a lot of bearish momentum. This could be again from the pre-high impact news coming up for GJ or GUP, sorry, the monetary policy. So this could be reaction from that, pre-reaction. Otherwise, this looked like a clean range here. All right, 2 minutes left for the 15-minute candle to close. Looking for this candle to be bullish and close bullish, and I would ideally like it to close at least at our entry point, which would give us a satisfaction that it can continue up. But if this candle closes bearish, that won't be good for the setup. All right, here it comes. Here is the bullish push that we're looking for. So it reached the highest point since the last half hour, and we're into break even and in profit now. Nice close right here. Nice close coming. Okay, excellent. Nice. All right, so now we're looking for the next 50-minute candle to continue the bullish momentum here. So it's literally closing, potentially closing right at our entry point, but we need a stronger push. So it came back into entry and came back within the range on the last minute before the 50-minute candle closure. So you can see sometimes the intended move might just happen near the end of, that candle closing. So let's see now. But if it reverses back now, that's not going to be good either. Because now we were, in profit at the entry. And it continues the bearish momentum. But let's see. All right, here comes the new 50-minute candle. Now, can it continue that bullish momentum? Yeah, so if the next 50-minute candle now closes bullish again and above the previous high of, the 50-minute candle, that can give us assurance that now this can continue up. So we're literally right at entry again. But yes, the next candle closes bullish, which would also be the next 30-minute candle, or the current 30-minute candle closes bullish. It'll be a good indication of this moving up. But again, has the bearish momentum in mind, right? Definitely come down here as well. Let's see. Will we see a bearish close here, or bullish close, or bearish close here? Again, can be very critical. Ooh. On the 30-minute, it might just be a wick to the downside, unless it picks up its steam here. Because G has been battling the the range here, the bottom end of the range. So I've been rejecting it. Okay, so now we're back in 7.5 pips in drawdown again. So the consolidation is happening below our entry. right? 10 to 11 pips below our entry. That's the range here, you can say. But again, can we have a 50-minute candle and the current 30-minute candle, can it close bullish? Or the bearish momentum is just too strong? Just gotta be patient here. So a lot of wicking, at the downside here. Can we get it to flip? You can see how fast the 5-minute EMA has just been pushing down. Right, that's another indicator of, how price may be, becoming bearish, quickly. Right, even a 15-minute EMA now is very close to the top end of our intended profit target. Again, not saying that the price can't push up and tap those. It certainly can, once it breaks out of this consolidation zone. So either it's going to continue down or it's going to break to the upside. We do have another 5-minute candle opening coming up. And then it will be 10 minutes left to the next 15 and 30-minute candle that we're interested in to see how they close out the current 15-minute and 30-minute candles. So you can see on 30-minute now, it's a complete bearish push. On the 50-minute, could be a consolidation zone and reverse here, but gonna have to be patient here. So for all those that took USD CAD, we got our TP here, broke even on GJ once, and the second one, if it's a loss, you break even for the session. If it's a break even, then you're profitable. If it hits TP, then that's 2 TPs for the day, right? So either way, it's going to be a either break even day or a profitable day. And for some of you that actually held on to GJ and got that profit and didn't take the re-entry, then it's a profitable day. And I'll probably call it a day because there's high impact news coming for GEP right before New York session, and you don't want to get trapped in that. Okay, so let's see now if GJ closes above entry and above the previous the highest wick there, the last in the last 2 5-minute candles. So if it can reach above that and close the 30-minute and 50-minute candle, the new candles can definitely push the price to the 5-minute EMA, and at that point I probably want to adjust my stops because I don't want this to ride back down into drawdown. And if there's any type of indication that once it taps the 5-minute EMA it's coming back down, I may just close in profit and call it a day, right? And it'll be a profitable day, right? With the USD CAD win as well. And now USD CAD is pushing to the downside. We got 8 minutes left to close the current candle, 15-minute and 30-minute. Again, this could be pre-news, reactionary, kind of push down here. But ideally, this range is a very valid range, very clean range. And not only this one, but even the larger one here, right? Now look, 30 minutes lining up right here. So if this continues a push, it's a strong push past the EMA tap here. I may let runners run after the TP1 target here. So we may go for the TP2 target again. And this will be the second time going for that. So 7 minutes, hoping to close above, not only break even, but above this current high of a wick right here at 182.420. So if we can break above and close above 182.420, 430, this can be a clean range, effective range to push to the upside. As you can see now, USD CAD is trying to push down here. And again, these are all intended areas that we were, were looking at the beginning of the stream, in terms of direction. So nothing against, our analysis. All right. So we got about 6 minutes left to close the 15-minute and 30-minute candle. And again, I did mention that I would like to see the price closing above 182.420. And if it continues past that, I mean, even better. But at least closing above that, which not only bring our trade into profit, but above the range, more importantly, and within the range, which could be an indicator that it'll complete the range to the upside. All right, so this is the last 5-minute candle now. Still looking for that strong bullish candle, right? So this current 50-minute candle and 30-minute candle can be bullish here if it closes above 420, 182.420. All right, 4 minutes to go. Still a consolidation below the range. And this trade is dragging on now. The way it's moving now, it could be reactionary to, the news coming up. As it's just now following the range here, which is a very clean range. Right? And not even the smaller range, it's the larger range as well. Alrighty, so we got 4 minutes left. Can we still close bullish? Just got a lot of bearish sentiment now with GJ right now, with the news as well. Yeah, you can see now 30-minute. Unless we get a drastic bullish push here. Let's see, how far is it off from the entry? About 7 pips. So it's not far off. 3 minutes left. Can still come up here above 420. But it needs a strong push. Yeah, about 6.5, 7 pips. All right, 2 minutes left. Let's see. Can GJ pick up here bullish? Yeah, GJ just moving very odd right now, right below our range here. Right, even the 4-hour close below. And we had, a couple times tap into our entry, but continues to wick on the downside and possibly close below as well this current candle. Let's see. We got 1 minute left for the 15 and 30-minute candle closure. Yeah, so consolidating in the zone again now. So that's how it seems that the 30-minute and 50-minute candle will close. Yep. All right, there you go. Now a new candle. Let's see how the 30-minute close right there. It's continuing the bearish momentum, right? But one strong bullish candle can change everything here. Because it's still caught up in this consolidation zone, right? Which we can call a small range. Let's see how large this range is. It's about 11 pips. Right, so it's still caught up in this. If it dips below, then it may have broken out of this consolidation zone. But if it's still inside this and it comes up to here, right? So you can see here 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Now, if it breaks out to the downside, that's going to hit our stops for sure. Now, if it continues consolidating here and it comes up here, it can break out and continue up. So it's pretty much in a range below our entry. And there's a reason why I gave it a 25 pip stop loss for a TP1. Is because of, we had instant executions done instead of buy stops. Again, USD CAD is continuing to range within that. It's a good win on USD CAD today. So we could end up with, one win on USD CAD, which is completed, one break even on GJ, and the second re-entry on GJ, the current, setup right in front of you guys, we're looking at to see whether it's going to be a win, a break even, or a stop loss, right? Hit. So if we lose GJ, we break even for the day. If we win GJ, we're going to be up, 2%. And if we break even, then there's going to be 2 break evens on GJ and 1 win, which is, again, a profitable day. So let's see. Again, we're really approaching the, GUP news. We're an hour and a half away now. And the way GJ is moving, it seems that it may push down before even if it comes up now, right? But I want to avoid trading past, I guess, until the next half hour. So if this trade doesn't, accumulate, I might just close and draw down and call it a day unless it already closes prior to that. But it's dragging on until the fundamental event, high impact fundamental event, and that won't be good, right? Because we already got a win on USD CAD, right? We got the TP, and even if we close down in drawdown, right? We'll still be profitable for the day. Let's see here. Let's see how far we are from our stops. About 8 pips away, 8.5 pips away. Vegeta is pushing. Let's see a previous low here. Yeah, I can come right back into this range, and that's again reason why I gave it a little bit lower, more of a stop for this current one is because of this potential bearish, run. So give it some more breathing room. Now what are we at now? We're still caught up in this range right here, which is about 14-15 pip range. Again, we did drag this stream today a little longer just because of the re-entries on GJ, which was our third setup for the day, for the London session. And it continues to drag on, right? On a typical, I guess, non-high impact fundamental, day for GUP, we would have seen this a clean setup up here, as we did yesterday. But this is just pure reactionary, I think, pre-news reactionary movement here. For all we know, that it may just continue to consolidate here and then push up, after once the news hits. But that's why I felt like, when do we get in this entry? About an hour ago. I thought this may close up, before the 4 hour closes. So we'll be out at least 2 hours prior to the fundamental event. But now we're about an hour and a half away and still caught up in a drawdown here. So this may just go for the stop loss here. Although, again, it is in this range. And I was sure to give it enough room, breathing room. But it's just hunting that stop right now. It continues to hunt the stop. I really think it wants to stop us out before it continues up. But it's just overall the bearish momentum is just so strong. It was continues to exhaust all this ammo right here, right? You can see it hit the top end of the range, continue down. Then it came into profit, exhausted here, into profit, past our break even point, then back here, another bearish candle, tapped the range, bottom end of the range again, and continue the move down, right? So this is all exhaustion elements of candles here, where they continue to tap the intended support line, but to no avail, and continues to push down. So yeah, so again, it is a risk-free trade in the sense that it will be a break-even day for me personally, as far as the London streams are concerned. London session. one break even on GJ, one win on USD CAD, and the current setup is still valid, still running. I believe some of you guys are also in the setup as well. And some of you guys did win the GJ setup, which I, put at break even. So the break even that I had on GJ, some of you guys won. So congrats to you guys. But I felt, that break even was pretty valid as well. Just didn't want to go back in the drawdown. The New York candle, the new hour candle was coming up. I had some hope in this GJ setup, but the bearish momentum, I guess pre-news reactionary movement here. Yeah, this is just continuing the push down. We're about 1 minute away from the new 5-minute candle. Let's see now how that closes out. On the 15-minute, it's like this. And the new 5-minute candle is coming up any second now. Here's the 50-minute candle. So again, it could come back up here. CSD CAD. So the current 50-minute candle is about to close in 5 minutes. But again, I won't like to hold this past the next 20 minutes or so if we still survive this setup, just because it's getting too close to the fundamental events and rather lose less than more. No wick on the current candle. It's pushing down. About 6.5 pips away. GSD CAD here. But it's, great bearish momentum from GJ here. Look at that. So again, this is where you want to be, you want to make sure you have an account that doesn't have high spread, right? So mine is around 1.1 right now on GJ. Because sometimes that could be the factor where, price may reverse and you got stopped out because of, these spread. So you got to choose wisely. Yeah, but that push is very, very strong. The bearish momentum right now for GJ is very strong. Even though the current candle has no wick, but it may stop us out before getting there. So it's still 3.5 pips. Now it's about 5 pips away. Got as close as 3.5 pips. We're about 3 minutes away from the 50-minute candle closure. Oh, wow. Very strong push here. So So about to be stopped out. Still 3 pips. What, 3.5 pips now? This is literally hunting the stop right now. Okay, yeah. So this is GJ's done. Okay. So unfortunately we couldn't get this set up. And there is no wick on the current candle, so GJ could come back up, but literally hunted our stop here and potentially could reverse here. But unfortunately, that's the setup. So 1 break even for GJ. For some of you guys, a win on GJ, and second retry on GJ was a stop out. And the only win that we had today was our USD CAD, which I think on the 5-minute candle, burst down the second 5-minute, third, in 20 minutes the trade completed, right? So we have 1 win, 1 break even, and 1 stop out on GJ. And you can see now, wow, I mean, would this come back up? So let's see how the 50-minute candle closes to see, did it just literally hunt our stop about 1.2 pips. So let's see. Let's see how the 50-minute candle opens to understand if it's going to continue the bearish momentum or it's going to go back up. Right here it comes. And let's see. On the other hand, USD CAD, if it continues the bearish momentum on USD CAD, this may come up. But again, practice good, good psychology here. No over trading. Had 3 setups for the day. Again, I stayed extra for the re-entry on GJ. But ideally on the stream, I'm only going to be going for 1 or 2 setups, depending on how everything goes. Normally this would have been hit, but I think the fundamental event, the monetary policy, this is pre-reactionary right now on GJ or GP, affecting GJ, and that's why we were stopped out on this one. But lesson learned. And yep, for all those that did enter USD CAD, and it chose your pairs, either USD CAD or GJ or both, it would be a break even. So yeah, no, GJ is really pushing down now. So yeah, this is really right before the high fundamental end, so it can definitely continue the bearish momentum as well. So yeah, we'll stop it here, guys. Break even day. For those that just had the win, congrats. For those that just got stopped out, unfortunately, that's the risk that you take. But we'll be back tomorrow. And let me just take a look at some of the fundamental events for tomorrow. I'll start doing that towards the end of the streams now as well. Tomorrow we have, so tomorrow is Friday. Oh wow, so we have right at the opening of our stream tomorrow, we're gonna have retail news on GEP. So we're gonna let the candle run, the opening hour candle, and wow, JPY as well, there's tentative news, so there's gonna be some strong sentiment. And 4:30 again, there's GEP, the PMI. There's a Euro PMI as well for French, France and Germany as well. So a lot of wow. So it's gonna be interesting day tomorrow. So if we can catch maybe right after this news, we can catch a GEP setup, we will. GJ setup here. So, and also look at USD CAD as well. Right. So no fundamental events for USD or CAD until New York session, but a lot of action happening tomorrow right at the opening of our stream. So all the best to everyone. Safe trading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the stream. Take care, guys.